Welcome to another edition of Rust Rants. I'm John Rust, and I come on and go off about, well, whatever's honking me off today. 79 years ago today, what Supreme Allied Commander General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade began. Operation Overlord, better known as D-Day, as Allied forces landed on the beaches of Normandy to liberate Europe from German rule. Notice I said beaches, and while Omaha is the most famous of the landing beaches on D-Day, especially after its portrayal in the movie Saving Private Ryan, there were actually 5 different landing sites during the Normandy invasion. You had Utah Beach, where the U.S. First Army came ashore, Sword Beach and Gold Beach, which were assigned to the British Army, and Juno Beach for the Canadian forces. And let's not forget the soldiers from all the other nations who took part in the landings. There were Australians, New Zealanders, and troops from several of the then occupied nations of France, Poland, Belgium, Norway, Greece, Czechoslovakia, and Luxembourg. In all, nearly 180,000 troops either landed on the beaches or parachuted into Normandy on June 6, 1944. And in honor of D-Day, I'm going to talk about 2 of those paratroopers who were decorated for an incredible act of bravery and didn't even fire a single shot to do it. We'll get to that after this word from our sponsor, H2O Health and Water Solutions. Does your toilet have rings that always need cleaning? Do you have hard water spots on your shower doors, calcium buildup on your faucets? Just imagine what all of that is doing to the inside of your washing machine, dishwasher, refrigerator, your hot water heater. What about the pipes inside of your body? Buy a filter or be a filter. You can have clean, mineral-rich water without the buildup of unwanted toxins in your body and throughout your whole home. Call Vicki Johnston today at H2O Health and Water Solutions at 928-899-7504 or stop in and see her at the Prescott Gateway Mall. So as part of the airborne wave that preceded the amphibious landings, 2 medics, Ken Moore and Robert Wright, jumped in with the 101st Airborne to Angoville-au-Plan and set up an aid station at the local church. And it didn't take long for heavy fighting to break out in that town between the Americans and the Germans, and then wounded started filing into the church, or Moore and Wright would go out under fire to get them, transporting them back to the church in the church's wooden wheelbarrow. But it turned out that one of the wounded that Moore brought back was a German soldier. And while the American wounded weren't thrilled with that, Moore and Wright still treated the injured German. Now, Moore said years later in an interview when asked, "Why did you help that injured German soldier?" He said, quote, "They were young men, much like us. The only difference was they were wearing a different uniform," end quote. Well, soon, more German wounded were taken in, prompting the medics to issue a no-weapons policy. All guns were to be left outside the church. Then, the Germans pushed the Americans out of Angoville-au-Plan, and a German officer and 2 soldiers showed up at the church. And Wright, cooler than an iceberg, told the Wehrmacht soldiers, "If you want to come in, leave your guns outside." Well, guess what happened? The Germans complied. They left their weapons outside, and the officer even agreed to bring Wright and more medical supplies in order to help the wounded. But, things, they continued to get hairy for our heroes and the wounded they were treating. The fighting resumed around the village, and at one point, a mortar round smashed through a church window, hit the floor, and I'll tell you, God must have been looking out for everyone at that church, because that round did not explode. Then, there was an American lieutenant who showed up, tried to pull rank on Moore, and told him, "Hey, we need to use this church as an observation point," even though it was clearly designated as a medical aid station with a Red Cross flag and all. Moore told that lieutenant, "No, Well, eventually the U.S. took the town, and Ken Moore and Robert Wright were credited with saving the lives of 80 wounded American and German soldiers, and for that, both men received the Silver Star. An absolutely incredible story, and it shows that even during some of the fiercest fighting of the war between two bitter enemies, both sides can show honor and humanity and agreed to leave two American medics be so they could help both friendly and enemy soldiers who were wounded during that battle. So, to Ken Moore and Robert Wright and all the brave soldiers who stormed the beaches and parachuted into Normandy on the 6th of June, 1944, we here at Rust Rants and at KYCA salute you. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Rust Rants. Be sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe across all of KYCA's social media: Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on KYCA.info. Be sure to smash the like button and leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say about this video. Till next time, I'm John Rust. I'll see you soon.